Hello world, it's Elelwyn. Believe it or not, I'm still alive, contrary to popular belief. I am so sorry. I have been promising you videos, and I have not been able to follow through. And if there's one thing I hate most, it's making a commitment and not being able to follow through. So you have my most sincere and deepest apologies for that. Yeah. I guess I have a good excuse, but I still feel like it's not good enough. School has started back up again for me, and I am working 3 jobs for the university. I am taking Mandarin lessons on top of all this, running a praise team for a church, and helping out with a youth group, while doing marriage counseling, or premarital counseling, in preparation for my wedding next year. As you can imagine, this leaves me with very little time to make videos as much as I'd love to. I have a guilt trip every time I go on YouTube because I just feel so bad listening to videos and not posting any, especially after just receiving 1,000 subscribers. I feel like scum, but I do humbly ask for your forgiveness and for you to bear with me through these difficult months. I'm hoping to maybe be able to post once a month until Christmas. I do hope to do a Christmas series like I did last year, and maybe that will make up for some of my lackluster updating. Oh, you have no idea how terrible I feel, and oh my goodness, I ask for your forgiveness, although I don't expect it. I will update and do the Fairyland sequel, and I will do the reading videos. I just have no idea when, and oh, I can't stop saying sorry. I feel so awful. I really did intend to do them, but life just decided to take me for a spin. So I will do them. I just don't know when. So for anyone holding your breath, breathe. Please breathe. It will get done eventually. So yeah, that's all I can really say about that. So after that wonderful Canadian stereotype of apologetic Canadians, I've decided to flesh this out by doing 2 tags that I have not been officially tagged with, but that I've seen and enjoyed. One is the Whispering in Blues tag that I heard Good Whispers do, and the other one is the ever-prolific Peaceable Man tag, or the Peaceable tag. So I'm going to start with Whispering in Blues tag, and then I will move on to the Peaceable Man's tag. Now I've heard these done, but I haven't pre-scripted my answers, so my apologies again if I take a while to think of answers, but as always, I hope you'll bear with me. Okay, and if you hear mouse clicking, that's just me going through the questions. So 1, what is your middle name? This is a bit complicated. I was named after my aunts, or aunts, or however you say it. And this aunt of mine, from whom I take my middle name, was actually named after another woman. And that side of my family is Dutch immigrants to Canada, and when they came to Canada, they had to take, I guess, Canadian or Americanized names I'm not too sure on the specifics of why, but it was one of the requirements when they immigrated. So I will give you the name that I should have, and not the Americanized name. So the name that should be my middle name is Lena. Number 2, how big is your bed? I have bunk beds because I still live at home, and my bunk beds are doubles. Wait, either doubles or twins. I'm not sure. I think they're doubles. What am I listening to right now? I am listening to my computer fan and the sound of my voice. Although earlier I was listening to some Taiwanese black metal. It was very good. I was quite enjoying that. Last 4 digits of my cell phone. Quite frankly, I don't know. I don't call myself very often, so. Number 5. What was the last thing you ate? Well, we were in a bit of a rush to get from band practice to a study group, so we had to go to McDonald's, it was tasty but not good, if you catch my drift. But before that, I had some delicious kimchi. Yum, yum, yum. Very good. Who was the last person you hugged? That would be my fiancé before I left for home. What is the weather right now? I can't really tell. It's very dark out. It's been rainy lately, but I think it's been pretty clear today. Who was the last person you talked to on the phone? That would also be my fiancé. He calls me. He's very, very good to me. I'm terribly spoiled. He calls me every night and reads to me because he knows I don't sleep well. He actually might be calling me soon, so I may have to pause the video. But yes, I would have talked to him last night. Number 9. What is the first thing you notice in the opposite sex? That would be eyes. I'm a sucker for beautiful eyes. Number 10. What is my favorite food? My favorite food is noodles. I love Asian noodles. They are so good and so sodium infested, but so delicious. Oh, they are an absolute vice. 11. Do I want children? I'm not at a point in my life where I want them, but I recognize that as a woman, my biological clock will start ticking. So as of now, no, but I don't know if that makes sense. 12. Do I drink? Not really. It's very, very rare. I'll maybe have 2 drinks a year, something like that, and I don't drink a lot, and I don't like the taste of alcohol. I find it absolutely disgusting. I cannot handle it. The only things I will drink, I have 3 kinds of beer that I will drink and 1 kind of wine. I like Sapporo, Heineken, and Vorsteiner for beers. So I like very smooth lagers, and I will drink Menschewitz Passover wine. Those are the only things that I like to drink, if I drink at all. And even then, I'll have a quarter of a beer and it'll take me 4 to 5 hours. So I don't really drink. 13. Did you ever get so drunk you do not remember the entire night? Never. I have never been drunk, nor do I want to be. 14. What is my hair color? I have very dark brown hair. And my eye color, which is question 15, I have gray eyes. 16. Contacts or glasses? I do have reading glasses, but they aren't necessary. It's because I'm a university student, I spend long hours studying and writing, and if I spend more than an hour and a half, give or take, I need to be wearing my reading glasses because I'll tire out my eyes. So I do have reading glasses, but they're not necessary. They're prescription, but they're not necessary. 17, my favorite holiday. It is Christmas. As anyone who has been with me from the beginning can tell, I love Christmas. And I love all the different traditions and the different ways you can celebrate it. And of course, I love the very traditional stuff too, like going to Christmas Eve service or a midnight mass. And I actually have a friend this year who's studying with me, and she's from Europe, and she can't be home for Christmas, so she's staying with my family, so I'm very excited for Christmas this year. 18, my favorite season. My favorite season is autumn. I love the colors. In Canada, we do get a real fall, and apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently we're famous for the beauty of our fall, our autumn season, so I very much appreciate it. I love the colors, and it's the perfect temperature as well. It's cold enough that there's no bugs, but warm enough that you don't need to pile on the parkas. And I love fall fashion too. I find it's very demure. There's much less skin, which I appreciate. 19. Have you ever cried over a girl or a boy? A girl, I guess, if it was a friend. I've had friends that I've cried for. And for boys, I think only once, in the sense that they're talking about. I had a guy who I tried to break up with, and he faked his own suicide. It was quite traumatic. I cried a lot over that. But I think that's the only time I can really think of. I'm very unattached. At least I used to be before my fiancé, but I was always very cold. But he got me. That made me cry. 20, the last movie I watched. There's a movie, and I'm one of those people who has to fall asleep with sound. Absolute silence freaks me out. And so I have this one movie, and I've become so used to it that it just knocks me out. And it's this really badly animated movie called The Princess and the Pirate. It's based on the Italian author Emilio Salgari and his books about the pirate tiger of Malaysia, Sandakan. But it has the worst voice acting, and it's just hilarious when you watch it. Anyway, that would be the last movie I watched, because I have it on every night to help me get to sleep. What books are you reading? Apart from the good book, I have mostly been reading textbooks, but whenever I get the chance to read for fun, I've been reading a book called Ship of Magic by an author, Robin Hobb. I think I'm about a third of the way through, and it seems pretty decent. 22, piercings. Just my ears, one piercing in each ear. 23, my favorite movie. Oh, this is a toss-up for me. I'm not a movie person. I really don't enjoy watching movies. I get bored. But I love Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But probably my favorite movie is, again, it's an old cartoon movie called The Thief and the Cobbler. And it just makes me laugh because it's so ridiculous. I can't even describe it. I watched it with a friend, and we have so many inside jokes from this movie that I cannot take it seriously anymore. It just, I love it. I can't watch it and not smile. Number 24, favorite college football team. I don't have one because I'm not in America, and in Canada it's not nearly as big here. There are football fans, and there are diehard football fans here, but for us, I'm gonna switch this and say favorite NHL hockey team. And that really doesn't help me out much, but Winnipeg recently got its team back. Winnipeg Jets. So I'm gonna say them. 25. What were you doing before filling this out? I was writing a one-page reflection for my Christian ethics class. 26. Any pets? I do have one very fat kitty. She's loved and old and fat, and she's a pretty calico. 27. Favorite flower? Excuse me, my favorite flower is an orchid. I love orchids. I have one on my dresser right beside my bed. I think they're beautiful. 28. Have you ever loved someone? I've loved many people. I'm in love as we speak. 29. Who would you like to see right now? I would like to see my hairdresser because my hair is driving me nuts. I'm growing out a pixie cut, so it's at that awkward length right now. 30. Have you ever fired a gun? Yes, I have. Even though I'm not American, guns aren't really as common up here in the north, but I used to be on a marksmanship team. And so yes, I fired guns. Never at a living target though. Only ever at bullseye targets. 31. Do you like to travel by plane? Yes, I love traveling by plane. I love the excitement and the thrill, and believe it or not, I actually really enjoy plane food, especially when I was in Cambodia and Hong Kong. I took an airliner called Dragonair, which I thought was hilarious, and I told everybody that I was riding a Pokemon home. But Dragonair, they gave me 2 Ferrero Rochers, so they cemented themselves as my favorite airliner in my heart. Okay, where was I? Okay, 32. Are you missing someone? I'm missing a lot of people. I'm missing all my people that I met in Cambodia, overseas. I'm missing my best friend who's studying in another province right now. Yeah, I'm missing lots of people. 33. Do I have a tattoo? No, I don't. To me, it's too much of a risk. I don't trust that they're sanitary, and I don't want any diseases, and I'm an absolute wimp, and I don't want to have needles shoved into me. 34. Do you still watch cartoons Saturday mornings? No, I don't, because I don't have a functioning TV. At least not for television. We can use our TV with the Wii, and we can use it for Netflix and that kind of thing, but we don't have any actual stations on our TV. 35. Are you hiding something from someone? Nothing's coming to mind directly. No, nothing's really happening. 36. Are you 18? No, I'm not 18. 37. What is the wallpaper on your cell phone? It is a really bad picture of my fiancé and I. I look like a cyclops, and he looks like Horg from the band Immortal. If you look that up, that really angry, grim frown, that's what he looks like. In this particular picture, not all the time. 38. Did you get enough sleep last night? No, I dare say I did not. But I rarely do. Genetically, I'm terrible at sleeping. My whole family is awful at it. We are some of the worst sleepers. So I come by it honestly, I suppose. 39. First thing I thought about this morning. Where I live, there is an early morning market that you can go to, and I was supposed to go with some friends from university. So I was thinking about going to the market. 40. What do you have handy at your bedside? I have a lamp, my cell phone, which I use as an alarm clock, and a book that I can read. I usually also have the remote to the TV in my room, which again doesn't have cable or doesn't have shows, but that I watch The Princess and the Pirate on every night, so I can turn down the volume if I need to and stuff like that. 41. Grilled or fried? Oh, that's tough. Generally, I would say grilled, but there are exceptions to that rule. 42. What makes me unique? My genotype. 43. Are you afraid of the dark? Very good song, incidentally. Yes and no. I don't like being in darkness, in any sense of the word. So I guess, in a sense, it's not so much a fear as a discomfort. 44. Favorite hangout spot. Let's see. I do love being at the local market. That's a world of fun. All sorts of ethnic foods and fresh produce, and that's really nice. Probably right here in my room, just relaxing. It's nice. I don't get to very often. 45. 3 things you can't live without. Air, food, and water. 46. Favorite song? Oh my goodness. I have so many different favorite songs for different reasons. One of my favorites was Constantine by Something Corporate. I loved that song. It's still up there in my favorites. My Girl by Maximum the Hormone. I love that song. It's so peppy. Agnus Dei, I adore for Christian music. That's actually what I'll be walking down the aisle to next year, so yeah, I have a bunch of different favorite songs. 47. What are you afraid of? Oh, the list goes on. I am riddled with phobias. I'm a severe necrophobe, as well as uranophobe, hemophobe. Most of it sums up as being a fear of the unknown. I'm terrified of things I don't understand. I'm an overachieving perfectionist, and I totally admit it, so things that I can't understand and can't do terrify me. 48. Are you a giver or a taker? It depends on the situation, but as a general rule, giver. 49. What are your nicknames? I have an endless list of nicknames. Beastie was a common one. Ellie for Elelwyn. What else? I used to be a fearsome pillow fight warrior, and so they called me the drunken animal. I can't think of anything else right off the top of my head, but the list goes on, I assure you. 50. What is your dad's middle name? Jeffrey. 51. My mother's middle name? Ida. 52. Stuck on... Just to let you know, this says a desert island. So on a desert island, I would take a spoon. 53. My favorite commercial. There was a hilarious commercial that I think got banned, and I haven't been able to find it on YouTube, but it has the song All Out of Love by Air Supply going on in the background, and I think it was a commercial for Baysal or some kind of margarine, and the potato was on top of a microwave, and then at the climax of the chorus it jumped onto some upturned forks because it couldn't get to the bass-L. And I thought that was just hilarious in such a morbid way. So that was probably my favorite commercial. Who is your cell phone provider? To be honest, I don't know, because my cell phone was given to me as a punishment for not calling home. I would love to get rid of my cell phone. I hate the darn thing. I don't pay for it, and nor would I. 55. First thing you would save in a fire? Myself. 56. Favorite color? Orange. 57. What is the one thing you always take with you? Love. The love that I have from the people around me for me. 58. What did you want to be when you were a kid? An author, and I still do. 59. What do you usually do when the clock turns 11:11? Make a wish. 60. What are the color of your bed sheets? Right now I think they're polka dot, but I'm really not sure. 61. The last one of Whispering in Blues questionnaire. What do you think about before you go to bed? I try to think as little as possible before I go to bed, because if I think too much, I don't sleep, because I think myself into corners and panic attacks, which isn't fun and not very good for relaxation purposes. Alright, moving on to the Peaceable Man's tag. 1. What is the strongest thing in the world? Belief. Belief is the strongest thing in the world, because even love has to be believed in. Number 2. What is the most important trait for someone to have? Oh, you're riling up the psychologist in me, Mr. Peaceable Man. Traits versus personality and typologies, and oh my goodness. Reminds me of my midterm I have to take in social psychology this week. But the most important trait, I'll let it slide. Most important trait for someone to have: a willing heart. Because nothing will get accomplished unless you're willing to do it. Number 3. In one word, sum up what you are put on this earth to do. Explain why. Help. I am here to help in whatever way I can. Whatever vocation I am called to, I will do. That's all I really have to say about that. Number 4. What was the most surreal moment of your life? Oh, hang on. Terribly sorry about that, everyone. That was the call I was expecting, but he was very understanding, and I said I would call him back when I finished. So back to the questionnaire. Question 4. What was the most surreal moment of your life? I was proposed to at a very young age, and the fact that I could say yes with absolute certainty at that point in my life, and it wasn't a specific minute, I guess, but realizing that now as I go through the actual premarital counseling and coming up to the actual day. We have been engaged for a very long time, but knowing that now I feel the same, if not stronger, about the same person, it's very surreal. It's like I don't understand why I understood at that point what I'm experiencing now. I'm atrocious at explaining this late at night, but I'll trust that some kind of sense came out of that. 5. What do you want from life? The opportunity to do what I'm here to do. 6. If you had to kill someone to keep someone else from killing you, would you? It's not something I can answer unless I was in the situation. According to the laws, I use the term loosely, of psychology, yes I would, but would I actually? I don't know. I don't know if I'd be an outlier in that respect. 7. What is your earliest memory? I remember refusing to go down the water slide at the YMCA in mother-child swim lessons. I was very obstinate. Number 8. What do you not like about yourself? You know, Peaceable man, if you were targeting this at women, you really should have asked, what do you like about yourself? You would have got a concise answer. What do I not? I don't like how scared I am of everything. I am gripped by terror, and I'm a prisoner of fear. And I hate that about myself. I'll leave it to that, because if I got into physical details, you'd be here all night. 9. What is the role of government? The role of government. I could give you a dictionary definition, but I doubt that's what you're looking for. The role of the government, to me, is to discern the will of the people, examine the will of the people, and implement what is best for the people. Whether or not they do that is debatable. 10. How much is your channel you, and how much of it is a persona? Again, the psychologist in me is screaming, but I would say this is me. Of course, it's a much more relaxed version of me. In reality, I am terribly high-strung and fearful and panicky, and here I attempt to filter that out to give you a pure relaxation extract. But it is still me. It's the part of me that is, I guess, muffled by the fear. 11. What is your definition of a hero? A hero is somebody who's important to at least one other person. 12. How much of life is environment, and how much is it choice? Well, you can choose your environment, so I would say it is entirely choice. But that being said, there are some things outside of control. I'd say this question depends on the environment you were born into. That's what I would say. But even if you were born into one environment, you can have a choice to leave it by death. So, it's tricky. There's several ways you could answer that, but I would say much more choice than environment. 13. What is the only thing you can be 100% certain about? According to constructivist philosophy, nothing. But the only thing you can be 100% certain about? I don't think it's a fair question. I think it implies that there's only one thing you can be certain about. You can be certain about whatever you want. Whether or not it's reality is debatable, but you can choose to be 100% certain about anything. So I would say anything. Whether or not it's real, completely different question. 14. If you could be granted one thing for yourself only, what would it be? One thing for myself. I would be granted the knowledge that I have fulfilled my purpose. If I knew that, I think I would be okay. 15. Why should we believe anything you have said? I have no reason for you to believe me. I never have, I never will. It is always your choice what you believe and do not believe. You can choose to be 100% certain about everything, or you can choose to believe that I have decided to lie to you. You could believe that I'm some 50-year-old guy hyperventilating in front of a computer screen looking at inappropriate photos. For all you know, I am. So why should you believe anything you have said? You tell me.